Howdy folks, it's been quite a while, but we are back with another Draft League battle. This is the semifinal against Mini and his Moab Marowaks. Mini tends to have my number. I think I'm like 1 and 2 lifetime against him, so we'll see how this goes. I'm bringing more of a like defensive team, which may or may not work. And his team is very scary, not that it matters because the trainer behind it is more what's going to make the difference in this one, I think. But he brought Galvantula this time. He brought the Glamora this time. He didn't bring either of those to the last battle, I don't think. I brought kind of the same stuff, which may or may not be a good thing. We'll see. I'm just going to lead with Colossal. If he leads Glamora, that's not the best, but if he leads Galvantula, we're in a pretty good spot, and I just kind of want to get my hazards up, so we'll see how it goes. Again, bringing more of a defensive, passive team. I really need to rely on Kurum and Muck for offense. And he does lead with the Galvantula. Probably hear my crazed dog in the background. So we definitely don't want to Terra here because my Terra is water and he could just destroy me with thunder. So I think what I'm going to do is Flamethrower first, and then maybe get my rocks up on the subsequent turn. Because I do want damage on this, and he's probably rocking a Focus Sash. That's usually what these do. Okay, so they're going to go for the Volt Switch. Doesn't do all that much. So that's something to potentially watch out for, because he could be, like, Scarfed or Specs choice in some way. I don't know that he is Specs because I feel like that maybe would have done more damage if he was. Ooh, and goes into Bronzong on the Flamethrower. We love that. Although, looking like he's maybe rocking Heatproof, which is cool. Unless Colossal is just that weak, which is also entirely possible. Well, I have a semi-dedicated check to this thing, which is Muck, so I'm going to go to it now. But yeah, that might well be Heatproof. That's something that I did some. I think I did like 1, maybe 2 mocks with Anima leading into this. And that is something that we discussed, was the possibility that he could go Heatproof. I'm like, that's something that is saucy enough to work, but I always err on the side of an immunity is better than eliminating a weakness in a minor fashion, but it might have worked out there. Gonna just make the brain dead play, go for a knockoff. We didn't really appreciate that body press, but we're doing okay health-wise. Ooh, so close. Oh, he's a Salt Vest. Interesting. Okay, so that's why it didn't take much from Flamethrower. And I have zero reason not to just go for another knockoff because we outspeed here. Okay, so the Bronzong is gone. Love to see that. Interesting set. Okay, so that's what we needed Muck to do, was take care of Bronzong. The trouble is now he can potentially set up with something. Okay, so he goes into this monstrosity. Do I want to save this? I don't have a ton of like great matchups into this thing, so I feel like I'm pretty safe just staying in and going for knockoff again. Okay, so they're gonna get the rocks up now. And then I think it'll be the toxic spikes happen here. Payapa berry. Is that for psychic moves? I don't even know. So if I'm him, as in if I'm Mini here, I might go for like an earth power or similar. So I don't know that I want to switch to anything. Let's just go Drain Punch maybe? Try and get a little bit of health back. We are AV, so I feel like we might still be able to take any hit. Earth Power is super effective though. Okay, we live it. Thanks to the AV, we get the special defense drop. That's unfortunate. And Drain Punch doesn't do all that much, so that's less than ideal. Okay. So I'm assuming a second Earth Power will take us out. Will he predict a switch? I don't know that he has a reason to. So I don't think Shadow Sneak in any, unless I get like a crit, is going to be enough to take this thing out, but we can get a little bit more chip. Do I want to do that? I don't know. Dazzling Gleam is probably not going to be enough either if I go pivot to Screamtail, which is unfortunate. You know what? Let's go to Indeedee. The trouble is we're going to take Stealth Rock Chip and then potentially another Earth Power here. Battlefield gotten weak. Alright, so they do go for the safe Earth Power. We tank that because Indeedee's got some good special bulk. He doesn't have a Dark type because he didn't bring Wo Chen. So I feel like I'm pretty safe just going for Psychic here. We should be able to live a hit. So let's try for it. We're going to switch. They go to Haxorus. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, that's kind of huge, actually. So the thing is, Haxorus, even if it's like min speed, probably outspeeds me and takes me out. Man, that did a lot of damage. I'm kind of impressed with Indeedee, but the special defense drop is great. The problem is I think any hit from Haxorus is going to take out Indeedee because Indeedee is just really squishy on the physical side. You know what? Let's make a super aggressive play and assume that he is going to try and like Dragon Dance up, thinking that we're going to switch, fearing an attack. Let's play it aggressive. No, they go for Crunch. And that'll be the end of Indeedee. Alright, well, we made the wrong call there, but, you know, sometimes you gotta try and make a play, and that, you know, didn't work out on that instance, but we got our terrain up. It's going to be up for a little bit. Let's rapid spin the rocks away. Well, that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping that he would assume like, hey, I don't want to take a physical hit from this thing, I'm just going to switch into something, and then he could have used that opportunity to Dragon Dance up and like start to sweep me, but a little too early still for that, I feel. Especially because we got Screamtail on the team. They're going to switch. Goes back into this thing. We're going to commit our Terra here. This is the only Terra captain that I brought, so I might as well. It's no longer going to be any sort of a check to Galvantula, but I feel like that's maybe okay. Takes away our ground weakness at least. So that did diddly, but we get the speed raise. I still don't think that we're going to be faster than this in any universe, but now I can pretty safely Scald. Goes for Power Gem. Does a respectable amount. We're physically defensive, but... Okay, so... Cole KOs Glim with Scald. Alright, I feel like we're in a pretty okay spot. The rocks are gone. And I didn't see the like toxic spikes go up, so he might have been running Corrosion to get maybe a toxic on one or two of my poison types, which would be interesting. So now here comes this scary thing. Do we need Colossal still? Yeah, probably. Is this maybe where I sack Muck? Potentially. The thing is, yeah, let's go to Muck here. He could again just go for Volt Switch because it's free, because I don't have a ground type with me, and he does. So we live that rather comfortably, which is crazy. The AV on Muck is doing a lot of work right now. So he goes back into Haxorus. Do I want to just get damage on this? Yeah, let's go for Shadow Sneak and maybe we can get like a cheeky poison from Poison Touch. I'm assuming that that could work. Oh, I'm an idiot. Our own Psychic Terrain blocks that. So, well, it didn't matter because we would have been outsped and died anyway. So, Hax KOs Muck with EQ. Let's go into Screamtail here. Do I want to just Dazzling Gleam? I'm just gonna T-Wave here, because if we can slow this down, that's helpful. I don't think that Dazzling Gleam from this would even knock it out, because Screamtail does not hit hard at all. Go for Earthquake, that does a solid amount of damage. The trouble is they're burning those turns, and now our terrain is gone for good. So I'm gonna throw up a Wish here. Maybe we can get a cheeky full para turn. He is staying in. Okay, so we do get the full pair on that turn. That is unfortunate for him, but that's why we brought the yellow magic. Just to be very annoying and slow down some of his quicker threats. So now, I feel pretty safe just going for Dazzling Gleam. Again, I don't think that Screamtail is going to have enough juice to knock this thing out even at like 50%, but we'll see. I don't know that Haxorus is all that bulky, but... Okay, they switch now, which is unfortunate for us. Goes into Galvantula. Takes essentially no damage from that. I'm just going to maybe Dazzling Gleam again. Would he go for like a bug move here? Yeah, the problem now is I don't know that I'm going to have enough offense to bring this back, but we'll see. I'm going to need a clean switch into Kyurem, I fear. Yeah, because I kind of figured he was just going to stay in and do that, so he does Volt Switch back out. I think that's the only move that he's shown on Galvantula so far. Which, you know, fair play, because we didn't bring Flygon this time around. Goes into Azu. That's scary. So... would he have, like, Belly Drum? I don't think there's any way. Alright, I'm gonna throw up another Wish. Goes for Knockoff, that does a decent amount and gets rid of our leftovers. And now I'm going to try and heal up Colossal. I'm hopeful that Azu doesn't have anything that can take this thing out in one blow, especially with our Terra. So Liquidation, Water into Water. Ooh, even a crit doesn't do all that much. And we get the burn. Love that. Alrighty. Flame Body coming through. That's a hefty amount healed back. Love to see that. So I'm going to get my rocks up now. Goes for Knockoff, that gets rid of our boots. I don't really have a reason to switch out here. He could go to Galvantula maybe to threaten us. Let's just throw off a Scald, see what he wants to do. Play Rough is going to miss. That is unfortunate. Such as Pokemon with 90 plus accurate moves, they pretty much always miss. Scald is going to do piddling damage, but we're kind of just in a weird little stalemate here. Again, I don't really have a reason to switch. Play Rough doesn't do all that much. And we're just slowly chipping this thing down. Again, Scald not doing a whole lot, but with the burn damage, it's making a little bit of headway. And if he does opt to switch, we have the opportunity to burn something else, which would be nice, especially if we can catch that Galar Zapdos or Haxorus. Yeah, see, the thing is he has Play Rough, which is still probably going to hurt Kyurem quite a bit if I try and get weird and go to that, but he misses again. Probably would have been the turn to do it. Now he's below half. We love that. Just the two, the one water type and the fake water type having a blast. Play rough again, does a fair amount. Scald again, get it down a little bit more. You can hear my dog barking. I think here I'll swap into Slowbro, get some Rocky Helmet chip. Let's play rough, that does nothing. Drops our attack, but we're not a physical attacker this time around. And here I can safely slack off because he's going to perish to the burn. So we lose the Rocky Helmet, or he rather dies to the Rocky Helmet, not the burn. So Slowbro G goes Ozzy with Helmet. So he has Galvantula, Galar Zapdos, and Haxorus left. And he decides to go to the Galvantula. I'm curious if we can live a hit from this. We're at full health. Let's just assume that we live. Bug Buzz does about half, roughly. And then Sludge Bomb is going to take that out. So Slowbro on a rampage. So now he has the Galar Zapdos and Haxorus at like half health still. Yeah, here's this demon. He could go for like a U-turn here, which would be kind of nasty. Let's just try an Expanding Force. Brave Bird, how much is this going to do? Enough to take us out. Interesting, okay. And we kept the Rocky Helmet because knockoff, he died or fainted from the recoil, which is funny. Let's go back into Colossal, just because if he touches us with Brave Bird, he runs the risk of getting burned, and that'll effectively be a wrap. Can fire off a Scald. Brave Bird also takes this out, but we do get the Flame Body to proc. Unfortunate for him, but Flame Body is just a very, very, very good ability, especially in draft. So I'm assuming that he's banded, maybe? Just because that's two really tanky, physically defensive walls that didn't show any trouble with at all, so we'll see. Outspeed it and take it out. So yeah, that was probably banded. Screamtail taking out the Galar Zapdos is humorous to me. I enjoyed that. And now, because this thing is paralyzed from earlier, we definitely outspeed and maybe can take it out. And we do! Alright! Look at that! We beat Mini twice in one season, and the Birds of Prey are going to the finals. Great game, Mini. Very close 2-0 in our favor. You know, we just kind of used our defense to our advantage. GG, sir. GG.